Not enough nonsense in your life? Need a little more? Well, get ready, because these two have it in spades.
Yes, I do.
Loose talk.
What are you talking about? Nonsense.
Even looser opinions.
Please explain.
And you're along for the ride.
Everybody strap in.
This is The Burble with Benny and Az.
Hello, welcome to The Burble. My name is Benny.
Oh, I'm the spare Az, back again.
The spare Az. Yes, you are back again, because he did say that he was disappearing and basically he's gone on holiday, on a road trip.
Yeah, he's ditched us for the City of Churches.
He's ditched us for the City of Churches. I want to make sure that there is a whole bunch of photos where you look like a lesbian next to a church. Now, we have a very special guest in the studio. No, it's true. Like, seriously, I'll show you the photo later on. We have a special photo in the studio. An old mate of mine who was a high school friend, and it is the Frase. Frase, hello.
G'day, champion. How's things?
Oh, well, thank you very much. So good to see you. Welcome back to Australia, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for having me on The Burbs.
Yeah, the Burble. It is.
Oh, sorry, I can't abbreviate here.
You can abbreviate all you like.
I was going to call it The Burps for a second.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to get some brand recognition with our... What are you rubbing your tits for? What are you doing?
Because I'm holding a burp back.
You're holding the burp back. No, it's all welcome and free here. Sanderson is not here. He's on the way to the City of Churches, like you just said, Az, and hopefully we get a whole bunch of different photos of cathedrals, and I don't think he'll be wearing that coat that... Remember when he went to the UK?
Yes, we heard all about that.
Yeah.
Over and over.
I think it was a Stonehenge where he looked more like a lesbian. So maybe the Druids, the ancient Druids, knew exactly what they were doing there. Like, anyone who takes a photo here, we're going to make them look like a militant lesbian.
It is. It's way too hot in Adelaide this summer for him to be taking photos wearing some of those clothes. I think you'll be okay. You might get away with it.
Listen, I hope. Did you have a good Christmas, everybody?
I did. Fantastic Christmas.
Frase?
A wonderful Christmas, mate. I got all the things that I wanted. I put in a big order this year.
Yeah, with Santa.
Yeah, I did.
Did he deliver?
Did he keep track of your international jet setting?
He did. And I've got some sad news. I've got to the point in my life where I've just ordered socks.
Shit.
Oh, you've got the dud present. You're happy for the dud present.
No, it's just what I was. Hang
on a minute.
I actually really needed them.
Was it socks that you had your face on? You know how they can print socks now? Is it one of those things, or very vain kind of deal? Or
to be honest, Ben,
yeah,
it was your face.
Yeah, but was I shit-faced?
And the other ones were Aaron is a lesbian.
We already knew that. He likes the same thing that lesbians like.
In front of Stonehenge, yeah.
Now, listen, let's start off this podcast really quickly by stating that the amazing work that the New South Wales Rural Fire Service has been doing in Australia, in New South Wales in particular, in terms of trying to keep homes safe. This is one of the biggest fires, continuing raging fires that we've had in recent memory. And then backed up with a drought as well.
Been phenomenal work. The state of New South Wales has been in a state of emergency for the better part of December, so they've long hours working very, very hard, and can't say enough of the fantastic things that the fire has been putting through, and to all of the international fireys that have come over and helped during the holiday period.
Well,
I know the Kiwis have sent us some help, the Canadians have sent us some help. I think we got some of the Yanks came over as well, so that would have been a shock to the system.
We've sent a whole bunch of New South Wales Rural Fire Service fighters over to the US, because every single year there seems to be a fire.
Oh, yeah, they're wildfire season is insane
in California. But we do thank everybody who's involved in that, fighting fires, even like trickle down the list to people who are making sandwiches and stuff like that, and food, providing water for all the fireys. And
there were these guys. I should have looked into it more, but there was 4 blokes that basically woke up at 5:30 in the morning, packed up 2 utes full of sausages and drinks and ice and all this stuff, and they drove a 10-hour round trip out to where some of the fires are in central New South Wales. Just rocked up unannounced, set up a gazebo, and just fired up a barbie.
Yeah.
And just without letting anyone know, and just gave it out. And they said, look, we can't fight fires, but we can cook a barbecue, so here we are, hook in.
And that's well appreciated with those as well. Like you see the Rural Fire Service headquarters, and they're talking about what they need to do and where everyone is, but the real precious stuff is always on the ground, and they appreciate that too at Rural Fire Service. So we just want to briefly give that that recognition to them. I just can't imagine what it's like out there on the ground due to the fact that we said that there's a drought and then there's just so much combustible stuff. And
temperatures in the mid-40s all the time.
Insane. Now, look, I'm not going to do it yet, but I do want to talk about where Scott Morrison has been during this period of time. That is coming up on the Burble, okay? Now we're going to take it up to a lighter note, Phrase.
Okay, bring it.
Due to the fact that there is some stuff that we need to talk about because this podcast is all about nonsense. So let's go from the reality of thanking them, the RFS, to nonsense. Apparently, Phrase, Stevie Wonder can see.
No, he can't.
No, apparently Stevie Wonder can see.
Well, that makes all of those jokes just, out of date now.
I know
Since
it makes
when?
it out of date. Well, this is a report that's coming out of the US. Apparently, Stevie Wonder...
Is this like he's been able to see the whole time and been claiming disability check sort of thing, or has he gotten better?
I don't know. I don't know about the disability checks, but...
Hey, hang on. Did somebody just get him like a pair of those Enchroma glasses? So he's just been colourblind all these years and somebody's just made a video and go, hey, Stevie, just try these glasses on for a second. And he's like, hey, Mum, I just called to say I can see.
A boy dressed as a sheep in a Christmas pageant apparently caught fire after a shepherd, one of the other kids, dropped a candle. Now, we all don't like to hear about kiddies being burnt or anything like that, but... I love these Christmas pageants because there's always a up somewhere. And if you're the teacher, you're a teacher, Phrase. Like, tell me about this. I need to know. Like, as a teacher, would you be pissed about that?
Look, there's one general rule, right, with kids on a stage.
Yeah.
No naked flames and no naked kids.
That goes without saying.
Well, if you abide by those two rules, you're pretty much safe. If this kid was holding a candle... Obviously, it's gone astray. He's lit
little Johnny on fire,
little baby Jesus on fire, and oh my goodness, I just can't believe the mess that teacher would have been in.
Yeah, he would have all the paperwork you've got to fill out. That and more. We're going to talk about. We're going to try and come up with some stuff because news is pretty scant in this period between New Year's and
well, at least the nonsense
Christmas.
news is pretty scant.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about that on the Burble.
Loose talk, even looser opinions.
This is the best show on earth.
This is the Burble.
Now, I'm one of these people, and I'm going to admit this, boys, that when I take a toilet break at work, I try to draw it out as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, like there might be cricket scores or sporting scores or highlights of a sporting game that I need to catch up on.
Or just a decent meme,
Or due to the fact that, it's post-Christmas and I'm full of ham and I just need to park the lorry out, so to speak. All right,
laying some cable at this time of year.
Yeah.
It happens.
There's fire damage. There needs to be cable laid and all that kind of thing. I just need to do that. However, though, there's evil geniuses that have basically built a brand new toilet. Now, the toilet's not flush. Now, I don't mean the toilet won't flush. I don't mean the toilet won't flush. I do not mean that by any means.
It's one of those new pit toilet things.
No. In corporate buildings, they're not going to allow that all the kind of thing. But apparently the toilet tilts. So on a downward angle towards your legs and feet, meaning that it's impossible to get comfortable on said toilet to be able to do the business that you need to do in the 10 or 5 minutes that you have off the floor at your work.
Evil bastards.
I know. Now, they're calling the standard toilet, and that's in inverted commas, okay, is a toilet which is tilting forward, which means that you are very uncomfortable whilst using said facility, whilst using the porcelain, backing up whatever you need to back up.
That's a slippery slope.
It is a slippery. Now, listen, you're currently housed in Myanmar, okay? There must be a variety of toilets in Myanmar which seriously are not comfortable to use. Like, say, for example, you've got your standard toilet at home, but if you go out and eat somewhere and then you have to use the facility at said restaurant, I bet you any money that there's not a sit-down toilet, there's a pit or something.
It takes a fair bit of yoga. Yeah, I tell you what, there's a reach-around method where you can sort of put your hand on the back wall to balance yourself because, the Asian squat thing, I don't have that perfected. I've been trying for the last sort of decade to try and perfect it, but my Achilles heel just doesn't have the flexibility to squat all the way down.
No, your Achilles heel is that due to the fact that, you need to take a shit.
That's my Achilles heel.
And then, like, you're trying to, like, is it like arms and legs everywhere, or?
If there's a latch anywhere, I'm holding on to it to lean back. I mean, it gets messy.
The British Toilet Association, this is a real thing over in Britain. They've got an association for pretty much everything, but the British Toilet Association is a group that campaigns for better bathroom facilities in offices and public spaces. Now, this seat is – look at the look on your face. Oh. The seat is sloped forward about 13 degrees. Yeah, no, you're playing with the playing with an iPhone holder here.
Figuring out the logistics of this, Lou.
Now, it's to increase strain on the legs similar to a gentle squat thrust, according to the developer. Now, the Staffordshire-based company says it's already had interest from local councils and motorway service stations for about £150 to £500 per toilet. So, hang on a minute. If you stop off, what if you're new to the country, you've just landed in the country, right? And then you've got to take your hire car up the M1 to get where you need to go, and then you need to take need to drop off some packages into the said toilet, and then all of a sudden you find there's this 13-degree toilet which is sloping down, and you can't comfortably do it. What do you do?
I don't know. I'm just imagining that's about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning when you come out of your local, pissed as a nit, go and walk in. That could create quite a mess for whoever's got to clean the toilets in those bathrooms.
Well, a survey by protecting.co.uk carried out in July of this year across 8 UK cities found that some people were spending up to, on average, 28 minutes in the bathroom whilst at work. 28 minutes. So this is where they're going, hang on a minute, this is lost revenue. We're paying them to shit, but they're not working. 28 minutes on the bowl. Now, I used to work in commercial radio, and this is in the days when Angry Birds first came out, and I would just forget about the business that I'd just done, waiting for more to filter through, and I'd try and cram about 8 levels of Angry Bird in before I wiped, finished. There's a time frame on the wipe, really, isn't it? Because, if it's a hot day or the toilet's air-conditioned, you might form some shit crystals, which are difficult and painful to wipe off, so to speak.
Hey, look, there's occasions where you might need that 28 minutes. I can understand that there might be some times.
Most toilets in Australia don't.
28 minutes, but that's a rarity.
Yeah, it is.
That's a rarity.
Yeah, but Angry Birds came out, and I'm a gamer, Phrase.
You're addicted.
I'm addicted. But you don't want trying to wipe dried shit crystals, so to speak, from your asshole at work could become a problem. You don't know that you're going to have a meeting with a boss or someone's going to come in that you need to know. You're all repanted with peaks of shit crystal around the anus. I'm just saying,
and you got your phone in the other hand.
And the phone in the other hand. This is why I never hand my phone to people.
I wonder if social media's had something to do with the amount of time that people have actually been stuck in the toilet. I wonder when this survey actually came out, because I reckon you'd see a very direct correlation to when social media hit it big and then the dump time frame extended.
Well, so to speak, that this came out in July of this year. They're saying that 13 degrees sitting angle causes leg strain after 5 minutes, so your legs are going to start hurting before the gut does.
It's cruel and nasty. Can you imagine if it was actually minus something or other and you just slip off? The bowl's a little bit icy. You go there in a
So
hurry.
You're saying that someone's come in, pulled the seat up, peed.
That's right.
And then they didn't clean the exterior of the thing.
Now you're hearing me.
Oh, hang on. No, the seat's down.
That's right.
And they've pissed on the seat, and it's -5. So they've created some pisticles, right? And then you go to sit down. What if you get stuck?
Yes.
See,
because you've got that angle.
If you've got a hairy ass.
Well, on that angle, you could be your scrot.
I used to work in commercial radio. I'm just thinking about that now. All right, I'm going to release a secret here, okay? If you wanted to take a Grogan while you were on the air, you played a long song, so you'd hear November Rain or Stairway to Heaven or the long version of American Pie.
The extended version.
Extended version. So, or even if you knew that you had a big night and this needs to go, you played In a Gun